I hit live. Why you was talking crazy? What's up, everybody? Look, we over here talking. I hit live. We got Brandon thinking he in the mountains drinking out of canteen, and it threw everybody off. So we sorry, but look, we still glad y'all here. Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles. I don't even know how to do this. I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. But you know what? We're gonna keep it like we always do, and we gotta give you that intro. So we'll be back after this
Yeah, I'm gonna
intro.
say, give us the intro, cause
What's up, everybody? Again, welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles weekly pick 'em. Look, you know we all over the place. It's week 14. It's disaster. Look, D Jones told y'all we doing something different that we've never done on the show before. And that is Houston, we have a problem. You are officially now in the get them out the way games. There is nothing to talk about. No team, no coach, no player. So you have been moved to exit left. So let's go ahead. We got 14 games this week. We're only talking about 7. So in order to get to what we need to really talk about, D Jones, hit us with the list that includes.
all right. This week's get them out the way picks. We got Coach going solo with Pittsburgh over Minnesota.
Hmm,
Uh, Coach also solo again with the Jets over New Orleans. We all picked
hmm.
Tennessee to pick Jacksonville. Uh, Another solo pick by Coach Atlanta to beat Carolina. We all picked Denver over Detroit. We all picked the Chargers to take out the Giants, and we all picked Seattle to take out Houston. That's your get them out the way picks of the week.
Yeah, we got that out the way. Now, look, I'm not gonna go into the games, but I heard solo, solo, solo.
Three
Brandon, I'm
of them.
three, and I'm not three the hard way, three the long way. And I'm not even gonna say you really taking chances, but you just do that sometimes. And I mean, it's December, so maybe you'll get a Christmas gift on one or two, and maybe whoever left their ring on will turn it off. But we're gonna move on to the first game. Look, first game up out the back is Vegas versus the Chiefs. I had the pleasure of being in Vegas this past Sunday and catching the Raiders versus Washington football team game. I was thoroughly impressed with the stadium. Obviously, new stadiums, can get you excited if you're just a general fan. And then if you're there for the level of excitement or understanding that I'm looking for, I was impressed. I was. And I didn't take an official tour, but I will say that, being in the game and the game atmosphere and the history of the black hole and sitting in the black hole, it was good to see that environment. And I want to commend the Vegas Raiders on making sure to keep the authenticity to their fans. They do have end zone suites, but they're not in both end zones. And I think that's very special because it makes sure that you understood to keep your everyday fan, a part of the game. That's what the players look for at times, when they run into the end zone and getting excited and hyped up. And they kept that end zone a fan end zone. And the team actually comes out in that end zone. And so one thing I liked about the way the team came out is they line up center field. So even when everybody comes out, they're more so all together center field. And it kind of gave me that feeling of like, I say center field, but center field, not midfield. So it was midfield center field, if that makes sense. It's not just the fact that they're center field, they're midfield center field. And the reason I like that is because one, all of the starters are literally lined up right behind the fans. So their fans are literally cheering them on as they get ready to take off through the middle upfield. And it gives you that feeling of like basketball, right? When they do the starting five. So I really like that. I like that enjoyment. I like the fact that when the fans get ready to, cheer them on when they're coming back in the tunnel, everybody knows that's their corner. So I was impressed by that. I had some really good chicken tenders at the game. I saw Gorilla again. I met, Gorilla when he was in Houston too. So it was good to see him, on his home turf. He's right there on road 2. They don't have a road 1. It starts with road 2, and I was on road 2. I literally sat right next to them. So I was pretty excited about that. And I know I've been on this game too long, but I really have to say the whole theme of Death Star was pretty amazing. They really have it themed well with the intro music and the lights. And they have a sound stage on the upper level that you can see from the field. So it's pretty cool. And that was where Rev Run did his halftime show. He didn't actually do it on the field. So I like that too, because he was surrounded by the fans when he was performing with DJ DeBarge, and they were up on the deck. And so the halftimes are sponsored by Caesars. And so it's really cool. Again, fan oriented. I'm going to keep sticking to that theme. And their seats, like on the 35-yard line, are amazing. You can order food from your seat. You don't have to get up. So it gave me back the feeling I get like when I'm sitting at baseball games and I don't have to get up to get my food. And the fact that you don't have to be club level in order to get that experience. There are other stadiums that offer it, but most of them do it on the club level. So it was good to see it on the lower level. So I just want to tell you guys, if you're thinking about it or it's in the back of your mind, you should, just catch a game in Vegas. It really is like that catch a game vibe city. The fans I was sitting next to the left of me, they actually were Cowboys fans and a Texan fan. They were from San Antonio.
Wow.
They were in town because the husband had to work. He brought his wife and said, let's go early and go to the game because I don't start working till Monday. So they actually bought Raiders gear to wear at the game. I told them I'm not that level of fan. I like games and stadiums, but I'm either wearing my own stuff or the team I already cheer for. So I'm not wearing the team stadium that I'm in. But I thought that was cool and it was good to know. But there were quite a few people that did that. They were literally just in Raiders gear. And, the Cowboys fan was like, well, it doesn't harm him to wear Raiders gear. So he felt, like, kind of like Derek and his 2-team nation. So with that in mind, like I said, and the flights are perfect. Like I flew up that morning. It literally was a day trip. I flew up in the morning on a 6:50 something like that a.m. flight. And I flew back on a 1 a.m. flight and I was home by 6 a.m. and back ready to work at 9. It just it was and that energy, it was good. I mean, I liked it. I like Vegas. If you don't like Vegas and you don't want to gamble, it's the perfect way. You just fly in, fly out, and it's over. So the Raiders are on the road this week and they're headed to KC's division matchup. KC done got their groove back, as they say, and the Raiders just lost another great part to their team. And I'm really expecting, the Chiefs to keep rolling at this point and win. The Raiders, they were kind of disappointing me a little bit. I felt like the seniority of their team versus the cohesive unit of Washington's team, they should have dominated a little bit more in the game offensively. So I was quite surprised at how tight the game stayed. Without like a turnover issue, right? It was just literally a tight game. So with that in mind, I think that, they're going to go on a little skid here and they're going to take a loss in Chiefs Kingdom. So, Coach?
I'm going with Chiefs. They've got, I don't want to say they got the whole mojo back, but it seems like they're winning. They're starting to put little things together. They're starting to do their trick plays again. The division is kind of tight now, Denver was tied up when losses with them last week, and the Raiders losing to Washington didn't help them. So I think the Chiefs are going to end up kind of add some more wins to this division. So I'm choosing Patty and the boys. D Jones.
You know me. I like these division games. I think it's going to be closer than what you think it could be, but I'm going Chiefs win this at home. They rolling right now, offensively. You know, my issue, their defense has actually been playing a little bit better the last few weeks. But I still think this is going to probably be one of those close division shootout type games. But I think the Chiefs being home will win this game.
Yeah, so back on that, like we all picked the Chiefs. I don't think it'll be a blowaway. I just think that the Chiefs will still be on a roll as far as a winning streak.
Yeah.
So I
Agreed.
want to make
Right.
sure I say that. I want to shout out some of our viewers. Mr. Gonzalez, we see you back. Hey, I like you stepping in 2 weeks in a row. I want to give you a shout out for that. And Jonathan, I want to give you a shout out. I don't consider them a faker because there's two teams playing. They just chose to cheer for one team and wear a shirt doing it. I mean, it is what it is. And when the game was over, I'm sure that cheap t-shirt they bought went out the door. But the guy made a comment, and I want to make sure that that's clear too. The Cowboys fan, he's very clear that he's a Cowboys fan. He collects hats from the stadiums. And so since I'm a collector, I can appreciate that part of it. He tries to get a hat everywhere he visits. D Jones gets a mini helmet
Their helmet.
everywhere he visits. I try to collect pins if the stadium is selling a collector pin, which they were. They had a Washington versus Raiders collector pin, which is, a defiant moment because they only play each other every 8 years in the home stadium. So it's Washington won't return there for 8 years. So those type of memories and things, and we understand you would never, but you may never see another ring in Dallas either. So there's a bunch of nevers out there. So with that in mind, we're going to move on to the next game. And well, that would be Dallas versus Washington, since you're so ready about what you would never do. And interesting thing, at the end of the game, once the Washington football team realized they were winning, okay, once they realized they were winning, they started chanting, "We want Dallas." They were already on to their, and
wow.
that's how many Washington fans made that trip. And we talk about this all the time. Now, Brandon, you took your first road trip with us, and it was a skid road trip, so you didn't get to see that excitement and that joy. But Derek and I were on the receiving and giving end, I guess you would say, of being a winning road team. We won in Washington. You get hyped like that. You get to feeling yourself. Your fans stay around. You start to chant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an intriguing environment. And then later on, as I was leaving, there were a group of Washington fans who started chanting, more specifically, they wanted Dak. I think they were getting a little bit ahead of themselves because at this moment, I can't really say that I'm picking them to win. I think it's a great momentum to go home with. I think if, Dallas keeps shoving the run game was giving Washington a little bit of trouble, against the Raiders. And I think that Dallas has a stronger led run game, that if they can do that, it'll definitely make things more comfortable for Dak. So I'm still expecting Dallas to win on the road, but I think it's going to be a really good game because the fans will be high energy. So, but that may not translate into what Washington can offer on the field. I think you have a better secondary by Dallas, obviously Diggs, than you did with the Raiders. So I think Hinkey's gonna have to be a little bit more careful with that ball because there were plenty of times that the Raiders just couldn't close or finish, I would say, on that interception. So, Coach.
I'm gonna use D Jones's terms. This is gonna be closer than the experts think because it's a division game.
Of
And
course.
I'm doing my Lee Corso with a pen instead of a pencil. You got Dallas and Washington. Taylor Heineke, who still probably should have been a Texans quarterback, but we're not going there. and then you have Dak.
Don't go there. You should have just kept that comment to yourself. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm going home team, the Dallas with the Washington Redskins. I mean, Washington football team. I'm sorry.
That's
Washington
why you can't even get that team right, because you leading the revolt with the wrong name, the wrong quarterback on the wrong team. Just stop.
Okay, Washington football team with the win at home. Clips.
You solo on this too, bro. You solo on this one too. I'm going Dallas on this game. It's gonna be a good division fight, but it's gonna end up not as close because they're not gonna be able to compete with them scoring wise. Dallas got the better team all the way around. The only way Dallas mess up this game is if they play down to Washington's level. Dallas should not have a problem with this game. They have showed us that before.
Look, so they have showed us that. Look, they have showed. Wait, let's be fair. They have showed those tendencies.
They have.
We also know December can be different for them in general.
That's true,
right? That's
true. Weather
weather. Look. Dak played it.
Washington.
Look,
I'm taking chances.
You beyond taking chances.
Will get the W.
You wasn't even sure what name to call the team, so I don't even know if that's a chance, because by now they've been
true.
So I want to ask you a question though. I have a serious question for you, because you're free to pick who you want. That's fine. You've always been sometimes out there on that surfboard by yourself and you wipe out. But what I'm asking you now is, can you give me a little bit more about what is it in the team that you can give me? Because see, I can give you why I think the defense is going to give Washington a harder time. Diggs, they're getting back. That when they were on the skid of losing, most of their defense was out, right? And then on the back half of the losing, most of their offense was out. And so we're talking about the team that was playing basically mid-October is back now. So when you say that, what is it that you can believe that at a 90% full strength Dallas team against a mediocre Washington team that really played? I mean, they only scored 2 touchdowns. Okay, it's not like they.
I know.
So I'm just saying.
Okay, part of the reason why I'm saying this is because, one, the Washington defense, Randy Gregory. Okay, all right, I'm a Cornhusker, so no. Anyways, Washington defense will at least, I think they would give Dallas some issues. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a home game. I'm going out on a limb right there.
The corners, the linebackers, the front seven, who?
The front seven.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. I'm asking. Because
the Washington front four is actually stout. I know Chase Young is out for the season because of torn ACL. But what I'm saying is I think those will have an issue with that. It's going to be a home game. They're going to be hyped. And I think you just said something about the Vegas win. Maybe it would propel. And Ron Rivera he finds a way to win these type of little ugly games. I just think it's going to be an ugly win for Washington.
Gonzalez, I'm with you. I just think you push them hoes with Pollard.
But would they put Pollard out there? That's the problem. That's the issue.
No. That's really not the issue, because they'll put him out there. That hasn't been the issue. You got to remember the issue was that Dak didn't really have anybody to throw the ball to, because all his receivers were out for various reasons.
Cooper
concussions, COVID. So then you forced more run game than you wanted, and then you had to play Zeke when he wasn't really ready and healthy.
Right.
So that's not really true. But we gonna let that go, because you on the solo, ride it out. Do what you do.
Washington.
All right, next game up. San Fran. Look, y'all know how I feel about San Fran's quarterback, and Jimmy G don't Jimmy G, and that's just what it is. I mean, he is the epitome of what people were trying to insinuate on the other night on Monday Night Football about Matt not throwing the ball and them running to win. he is the epitome of run the ball as much as possible and let him throw as few times as possible and take your wins. and so even with that theory,
Let's go, man.
they still not winning this weekend. So, Coach, talk to me.
Cincinnati.
D. Jones.
Hey, yeah, we spent a lot of time on that last game. Cincinnati win this game.
Okay. Sorry, but it was really good conversation though. So, all right, next up, Buffalo versus Tampa. All right, Buffalo got them a rough loss at home on Monday Night Football, and I just say rough because division games are rough. They just, that win was a beast. Glad that was the game. They got the win and we didn't, because I'll just take the reign at this point. So Buffalo versus Tampa, Tampa at home. I don't really know. I don't really go against Brady too much at home. I don't know what Buffalo team is coming. What is the defense looking like, Brandon? In Tampa?
Buffalo's defense or Tampa Bay's defense?
Tampa Bay.
They beat up.
I think they're fine.
No, are they beat up? What's the injuries looking like?
They secondary is still kind of beat up, right?
Secondary is kind of beat up here and there. Yeah. Yes.
Well, I think we definitely gonna see some passing since they're gonna be in Florida, so we might get a little bit more play action.
And they can't run the ball, so I was
about to say Buffalo is still throwing the ball because they can't run the ball.
They're gonna throw a little more now, is my point, and that'll open it up for them, I guess. But who you going with, Coach?
I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one. Brady against Buffalo. That's just what it is. I just thought about that as you were talking. I was like,
yeah,
Brady was in the same division against Buffalo. It don't matter. Brady can be on any team. They're gonna beat Buffalo or give Buffalo fits left and right. Now, I have a question. Do y'all think Buffalo's defense should be embarrassed about?
You can't be embarrassed about what you just not capable of doing.
Reason why I say that is because I know y'all saw the press conference where the guy, I don't know if y'all saw that Hyde was in the press conference and the media guy was like, y'all should be embarrassed about what New England.
He asked, were they embarrassed?
They just ran the ball down.
Yeah, no, that he was out of line with that.
I think that's disrespectful. Personally, I think that's a disrespectful comment.
It was.
We make comments and opinions towards who we think will win, but in reality, I would never ask Jimmy G, do you think they should have ran the ball instead of allowing you to pass it? Like really, you not playing the game. Right.
Well,
so
you the way he phrased, I think I understand what he was trying to ask, but he asked it disrespectfully. They shouldn't be embarrassed. Right. Yeah. At that point of the game, they running and they still ran on you. Basically, they still ran for 200 yards on you. They're running, but they wasn't scoring. They only scored 14 points.
Right.
It wasn't nothing to be embarrassed about.
Right. Yeah. You can play a game, and that's what I was about to say. They act like the Patriots won with 40 points. A win is a win, but they weren't destroying
no matter
them
what.
To the point. You got to do what you got to do. And they did their best to contain it. It just became to a point where people act like there was points being put on the board late in the game. It wasn't because they were stopping. There's only so much you can do, though. If you're on the field most of the time, then eventually your defense
somebody's going to break.
Well, they was gashing them though. they was getting chunk plays, and then they would stop them. So
correct.
As an outsider looking in, I can't. I'll be honest. When I watched it, I was like, dude, how they getting all them chunk plays on you when they're gonna run? But it was nothing to be embarrassed about because in the end they did their job by stopping them. So it doesn't matter that they was getting chunk plays and moving the ball if they wasn't scoring.
The one long run, and
you take that 60-some yard touchdown out.
That back. And after that was it. But after that was it. The game changed after that. Because remember, he got hurt. Right. So it wasn't like that after that. And they shouldn't be any more embarrassed than the fact that they kept giving the ball back to their offense
And the
without
offense wasn't
allowing the
scoring.
Patriots to put more points on the board, and they didn't deliver either.
Well,
So
it was the same thing. It was just they couldn't run. So they would get down there and try to kick the field goal, where the Patriots wouldn't try to kick the field goal. They would get down there and try to kick the field goal, and the wind did what the wind does. But to get back on track on this, I'm with y'all. Definitely picking. I'm to take a phrase from Aaron Rodgers. Brady owns Buffalo. What I'm saying? So we're going with the GOAT at home on this too.
All right, so then let's move on quickly to the Shy versus Green Bay. And really this is on the deck because, we got Dalton back there. I mean, he headed to Green Bay. It's a good division game. I still give that edge to Green Bay. And so with that in mind, I don't really have much else to add to it. It's the simple football with Rodgers at home. And I'm going to go with Green Bay. Coach?
I'm going to go with Green Bay. Easy one for me.
I own you part 2. I own you part 2. Number 12 out there with a messed up foot. And he's still gonna put up points on him. So yeah, this pack all day.
No, they haven't played all
they
home
have
games.
Not.
It's just
they have not.
It's just all the good matchups just happen to be their home games, though. I will say that.
That's a good one, though.
When they good, you good. You good.
That's a good.
Go Pack.
But I said good matchups. I necessarily didn't say good because we do know that they get that. They were kind of like the Patriots, right? You'd be like, who wants to be scheduled against the Patriots in December at home? For sure you losing. They lost
every time.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he right, because that's what you end up doing, right? Of course you do.
Hey, and I feel the exact same way about the Cowboys. So we all right.
So y'all match made in heaven. All right, so it's pretty clear that I'm going with Green Bay. Coach, you going with?
I said I was going with Green Bay,
right? Green Bay in it. All right. Baltimore versus Cleveland, another good division matchup. Look, I know the Ravens like to take chances, as Coach would say, and they went for the chance last week. I would have wanted them to have taken the opportunity to play in overtime, especially considering where they were in the position in AFC conference.
Right.
That would have been the best position to take at the time. You didn't need to try and take a loss on a risk. And that would have been one I would have reserved, So for me, I wish they would have kicked. But hey, especially if you got Tucker, it's not like you really was worried about the kick, right? So for me, I would have took my chances because you didn't even need much if you had to kick in overtime. So whatever. But they taking on Cleveland this weekend. What we looking like on the Cleveland run game, Coach?
I think both of them are back. I'm not sure. But I do know Hunt's dad is not very happy without the videos. But yeah, no.
This is getting old now with the dads being upset.
What is that mad about?
They got both running backs back. They should have both running backs back, but they still got Baker Mayfield playing. So yeah.
D Jones.
Who y'all picking? I ain't heard no picks.
Oh, so who did you pick, Coach?
Oh, my bad. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, 2?
2 field goals.
Wait.
2 field goals. By 2 field goals.
Wait.
I was joking.
He said 2 touchdowns, didn't he?
He said 2 touchdowns.
No,
touchdowns and field goals don't even start with the same syllables.
No. I mean, I just don't think, like I said, I just don't think that Baltimore is going to take, they would have, like you said, I with you as far as just taking their chances in overtime. So they would have been on a win streak with this, including going into this game. And I'm going with Baltimore. They're going to be mad about not getting that 2-point conversion.
I don't know about mad, but
yeah, you keep that analysis, bro. You keep that one. I'm going. Of course, this is another division game that we're gonna love. I'm going Cleveland on this. I'm going with Cleveland getting back on track with the run game. Dude, they've been missing the run game. We've been saying that. You can talk about Baker. You can
That's
talk
why
about
I
Goff.
asked.
You can
That's
talk
why
about
before
Jimmy
I
G.
mentioned.
You could talk about Tannehill. All these quarterbacks need a run game. And as long as Cleveland have their run game, I'm going to take them to win this game. And plus, because the way Baltimore been playing, Lamar been kind of shaky with turnovers, and they've been overcoming them. They've been losing the turnover battle and being able to either win the game or still be in the game. That won't happen this week. So if they get down on the turnover battle, then and Cleveland get that run game going, I think Cleveland win this in a close matchup.
Well, that was my point. That's why I first asked what was the run status in Cleveland. And so with that, I have to lean heavily toward Cleveland. It's definitely not based on who's on the center in Cleveland. And I think that there's a huge difference, right? You know, Lamar makes costly mistakes that are just not understandable. And then Baker takes costly chances, you know, like, and they all end in the same, right? The stat is still an interception or a fumble. It doesn't, you know, the stat doesn't say that. But I just think that in a game where the run game is more comfortable, Baker is less likely to have the control to do too much with needing to pass, right? And so that will give them that control. Whereas Lamar, he's still the lead running back for the team. And with that in mind, that's where sometimes he gets into these plays that he just does not have to make. And he makes huge mistakes that you will not be able to overcome because you're not going to get the ball back that quick. I mean, you were playing Pittsburgh and the stats were showing you that you were the better quarterback on the field. And that was the game to overcome an opportunity with mistakes. This won't be. I mean, with a run game, you can smash mouth, keep the ball, keep him on the bench, and then you're going to force him into passing and force him into passing. If you start blitzing, you're going to force him into mistakes because that's consistently what he's shown. So I'm sure that's what the D coordinator got on the tape.
And Garrett and Clowney coming. If you remember a couple of weeks ago when they played in Baltimore, Clowney kept barely missing.
Barely
missing them.
Step off
so they coming.
All right. So let's get ready to talk about game of the week. All right. We're talking Rams versus Arizona. We've been expecting more out of the Rams due to, you know, they did the most quote unquote exciting buzz of the trades and trade deadlines. Because I was at the game, of course, I missed all the early games trying to get to my game. So I didn't really get to watch, Odell is getting into a rhythm. Everybody kept talking about how far down in the depth chart he would be. But if the depth chart leads you to the end zone, it don't really matter where you are on somebody's chart. And if you thought that he would be in LA and they wouldn't find a way to use him, I don't know what you were really thinking. Because I was.
Well, helping Woods went down too, right?
It did. As soon as he signed, Woods went. But I mean, the timing.
I don't think it made a difference, but I'm just saying it helped. Yeah.
Right.
The timing is the timing. And not only that, I just really think that, yes, these are some of the things that showed up randomly, with Stafford when he was in Detroit. I mean, he's had this inconsistency moments, but he needs to get back on track. I think last week was a great feel-good medicine game, as Brandon would say, because it was a get it out the way. We didn't talk about it, but I definitely believe it was a a feel-good game for him. And he needs to get it under control. They're on the road. This is a tough division matchup. When you win in with your backup quarterback and you holding down the conference in the number one spot, that says a lot. And so you cannot put your team in a position where they have to try to overcome that because you putting too much pressure on your defense, So I just expect him to play a little bit calmer game, but I still think Arizona's going to win, but I'm just looking for him to have a better game. Brandon?
Division game. You got the Rams struggling, like you said, you've been saying. But with the Rams, you really, really need to do is get their running game back for Stafford to get comfortable, to have Stafford dropping back 40 times a game. and not even like give them a chance to run game. And you got Arizona defense and things like that. So and Aaron Donald is gonna have, I think, a decent game this game. So I'm gonna take a chance at this one too as well. I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one. On the road division game, it's gonna be a close one. Kyler and the boys are actually starting it, like you said earlier about Dallas bringing back, they're
Is
getting their
Kyler
players
back?
back. About,
Came back
well,
last
I
week.
don't know if he's
Okay.
coming back or not, but he's supposed to.
He was
And
back last
then,
week.
but D Hop came back this past week, right?
Yeah, they
So,
both were back.
but I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one. Nothing against Arizona bad. I just feel like the Rams are gonna feel like this is a must-win game, and they're gonna pull it out. D Jones,
This is a must-win game for the Rams,
yes.
and they're gonna lose it to the Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals to win the division, and this is gonna solidify that.
It's so funny.
I know. My guy Elroy said the Cardinals got to lose sometime. They should have lost when they starting quarterback and best wide receiver were banged up, and they still won. Now you got those boys on some rest coming to a division game like this. Come on now, they're gonna be ready at home. So Cardinals win this game. It's gonna be a good one. It's definitely gonna be a good game to watch next Monday.
Is it a field goal?
I'm sure our group chat is gonna be on
lit.
fire that Monday.
It's
Yeah, it's
gonna
gonna
be
be lit
lit.
next Monday.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got to talk about this, after the show, but it's a good point to bring up now, which is, next week I'm going to catch me some live action football on the road. I'm going to go to Thursday night football in LA and catch the Chargers Chiefs matchup. And my point of bringing that up is we're going to have to figure out when we shoot, because obviously I'm going to be leaving to get to LA. And then on this next day, I'm going to be headed to the game. So, I'm gonna really want to follow up on this game. I'm definitely still riding with Arizona.
She froze up on us.
I froze up.
Yeah, you good though. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I heard you say it, so I was like, oh, I thought I was about to have to do the tick. But anyway, I guess I'll be, what's his name from oh well, it don't matter. I can't remember his name. So
yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't
Well,
do it.
I was about to say something else, so we should go. But because it wouldn't have been nice. Anyway,
do it live from the
no,
sideline.
it won't be live from the sideline. That's a good one. I'm not sure. I haven't picked a seat, so I don't know if I'll be in zone or sideline, but it won't be that type of sideline. Obviously I am pretty much I'm on a Final Four tour, and the Final Four tour is a little different because it is the 4 stadiums that opened after I started my stadium journey, which means that I've seen the home team play in their other stadium. So I don't need to see them play my team again. I just need to see the new stadium. So I went to the Falcons versus Panthers game earlier this year, Halloween. So I had that one out of the way. I just this Sunday went to the Raiders versus Washington. So I now have Vegas out of the way. And then next week I will attend at the Chargers / Rams Stadium. I have taken the tour, but I haven't seen the game there. And then obviously on January 2nd, I will see the Texans play the 49ers in Levi. I did see them play in Candlestick, but Levi opened the next year. I took a tour of it because we played Oakland that fall, but I hadn't had the opportunity to actually see a game there. So I will start the year finishing the last of the Final Four, but it'll still be this season. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's just kind of worked out perfectly with the schedule. I still would have been able to attend I guess most of my games but one, but I can guarantee you I had a greater game experience watching Raiders versus Washington versus Colts versus Houston. So with that in mind, hey, look, I've expanded on an awesome journey. Sometimes you guys don't really know that the things you see, you think they're like very spur of the moment, but they're deeply rooted and important to me. And so the Good Morning Only crew is a part of something that I've recently just expanded into. And the name is an expansion, but the concept of what I feel about it is totally different. There are some other ideas, journeys, and moments that I have, I guess, not shared. And so I plan to do that through the Good Morning Only crew. And so while it may come off as fun and casual, there will be other more important moments. And one of them is a fun moment to get us going next week. I'm giving away free breakfast and coffee until my allotted amount runs out. But in order to be able to receive or be entered in the drawing for an opportunity to randomly win, you have to actually follow the Good Morning Only Crew Instagram page. And you must also be on the listserv at thegoodmorningonlycrew.com. So you can find all that information on the Gransberry. So you don't have to try to write anything down now, but the Gransberry.com has it. My Instagram has it. Everything has it and the rules to sign up. And so all week, I'm just going to give out breakfast and coffee until I feel like I've hit my number on what I want to give out. And it's, just let's I really enjoy my life. I don't think people really know that. I don't think people really understand the joy and energy I get from going to the games. I understand most of you are fans. I am a fan of my team, but I am a greater fan of the sport. I'm a greater fan of my uncle. Shout out to my Uncle Bubba. He gave me, that open door energy to football and baseball. And shout out to, the Williams brothers, Chris and Corey. They gave me that open door energy to the actual road travel of it as an adult. And so it's something that I can never explain to you because it's my thing. And it allows me to share myself with people in a different way and then also be able to give back. So while you may see it as just attending a game on Sunday, I feel like I'm sharing an experience with you that I feel like you could have, or that you can see the joy of that experience and make sure you find one that gives you the same. And so to me, that is what living is. So if your joy is, finding the best tacos in your city, or, finding the best steak or ice cream or gelato or whatever, that's what will give you that energy, that day, that spirit. And that's what lifts me. Right. And as I'm lifted, that's what makes me want to give back. So I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. I want to thank everybody that joins us any night, especially you guys who have commented on the show. It's awesome to have interaction with you and see your thoughts and picks for the week as well. And this is your time to see, yes, we're fans of our team on Sundays. Lately, we've been struggling with that. But even still, the point is on the show, you get our authenticity about how we see the game and not so much just quote unquote that surface level fandom. So Coach Pat, tell the people where they can find you outside of this when you're looking for entanglements. It's Christmas time. I don't know if it's too late to get the boo and get a gift, but go for it and tell them where to find.
It's still cuffing season.
Okay. Get cuffed, B.
Whatever. Anyways, you can see me. You catch me on Twitter and Instagram, Coach B Pat. Hit me up.
Hit him up.
Hit him
Whatever.
up.
Hit him up.
Whatever.
And you can hit your boy D Jones.
No entanglements. No entanglements allowed.
Well, no, it's Christmas time. It's cuffing season.
It's cuffing season.
Wintertime is chilly, cuddle weather. Sleeping, cuddle weather.
Yeah.
It's cuffing. You showing your age or something? All right.
All right, D Jones.
Find your boy on Instagram, D Jones 9804, or on Twitter, that boy D Jones.
And as always, like I said, I'm at the Gransberry, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And like I said, please catch the Good Morning Only crew when you can. Look, I try to keep you laughing, keep you entertained, overjoyed, whatever way you may see it. But I am, again, want to tell you guys, thank you for joining us and catching us. And we will see you next week. Catch you next time.